As a security professional, I am often asked to examine devices imported into the United States from China, where manufacturers have long held the concept of innovation foremost among their aspirations and efforts to fully comprehend ambitious and eye-catching designs with an emphasis on conveying the notion of impenetrability, sometimes carelessly dismissed as cosmetic, form the principal features of these devices. However, among the more unusual designs I've examined, none has struck me as thoroughly alien-looking as the Gary Safe Digital Code Vault. My first impression at sight of the strange keypad on this device was that the Chinese had come into the possession of alien technology, and that the device in front of me represented a form of hybrid alien-human technology, the keypad designed for use by an alien hand. That speculation soon crowded all other musings aside, so that I decided to divine, if possible, what the hand of that alien must have looked like. The process began with taking detailed measurements of the keypad, keeping in mind at all times that this was a rigorous scientific endeavor and no mere exercise in the fanciful, while also allowing for a small degree of creative inference with regard to the measurements I gathered. I broadened the scope of my investigation to include a review of what is known, or speculated, or simply dreamt about those beings who may travel from distant worlds to our own. Though I strove to make my voyage into the world of UFO research as far-ranging as possible, I favored a study of the visual or theatrical representations of aliens over extensive reading, reasoning as I did that the written accounts of alien abductions and the alleged probings of the human anus by non-human instrument would shed only dim light on the physical attributes of these non-human scientists. My reasoning in this matter soon proved to be sound in that I was able to render a very probable, if not entirely accurate, drawing of the alien's hand. I captured my revelation in pen and ink as well as in pencil, and when finished, I regarded these images but a moment before deciding to give this two-dimensional vision a three-dimensional form. That area of science, which for convenience we may refer to as alien morphological forensics, did not exist prior to this investigation. Thus, my first task was to develop a method of building a reasonably accurate skeleton for which there was no reference material, either in medical, biological, anthropological, psychological, phrenological, or veterinary literature. The process of adapting mathematical models describing the morphology of the great apes to what I had established were the likely dimensions of this creature was lengthy and would add little to this discussion were I to interrupt myself with an accounting here. What is important to state is that once I gave flesh, as it were, to the skeletal frame I had constructed, this alien's hand was no longer a thing of mystery, but a highly probable expression of nature, as nature's own hand might have formed life on another world. And I would beg forgiveness for taking a small degree of liberty in my effort to capture some approximation of this alien's appearance. That it should resemble a reptilian species did not seem out of keeping with what has been rumored of aliens visiting this planet, nor did I see reason for this creature to be drab. I had in mind that an advanced species would naturally possess an advanced sense of aesthetics, and would have been, over the course of time, subject to a species-wide selection process, resulting in an intricate pattern of scales, their color and arrangement likely speaking, as does the plumage of a peacock, to their health as individuals and status as potential mates. This was an elegant creature, and I felt no small sense of accomplishment when finally I found myself gazing upon the very hand of this alien visitor to our planet. And yet, in spite of my efforts, in spite of the full broad scope of my investigation, there was still one question that needed to be answered. Is this device secure? Well, given that at one time the intended user does appear to have been alien, and allowing that my examination of this device is a portion of the larger investigation, I may extrapolate something with regard to this alien's concept of security. These visitors to our planet come from a world with no crime. They are trusting of one another, and their young are mindful of injunctions to keep hands away from danger. Furthermore, these beings appear unconcerned with ownership, preferring instead to treat belongings as shared property. Therefore, I must conclude that this device offers perfectly adequate security for life lived on a world very different from our own.